For 24-hour drug information and treatment referral, access help online with the Substance Abuse Treatment Facility Locator at recoverymonth.gov or call the toll-free treatment line at 1-800-662-HELP.
Thank you. Have a great day.
People who suffer from drug or alcohol addiction sometimes say hurtful things. They drive the people who love them most away. If you know someone who suffers from drug or alcohol addiction, listen. Try to hear what they are really saying. Know that there is hope and help them find their voice again. For drug or alcohol treatment referral for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
MCTC has approximately 2,500 inmates. When an inmate comes into the facility, we assess each individual, and then we try to develop a plan for that individual. That plan may include a variety of programs, including educational, vocational, social work, psychology, and addiction programs.
Securing the tier after institutional count.
70% of the individuals coming into the Division of Correction have some form of an addiction problem. So we place them in a therapeutic community, and most of our concentration is on how to help them identify that addiction problem and how to start on the road to recovery.
Another day clean and sober. Hurrah! Live life to the fullest.
Gaudenzian Maryland Correctional Training Center is focused on community being the main method of treatment. The things we teach in the program, we try to mirror things that they're actually going to face on the outside. So when we say community, just like people have neighbors on the outside, just the guys live together, they have their neighbors, the people who live in the next cell, they have to do things together, they have to work together, they all have jobs that they do together. So really trying to mirror things that they would have to do in the community, they do here. And then so they also get a sense of, instead of me just being independent, only thinking about myself and my issues and my problems, there are these other people that I have to work with. How do I work with them? And then how do I gain from that as well?
And finally, we have somebody called the lost child. It's very important that Gaudenzia is in this prison because it's quite evident in the individuals who successfully complete. They have a sense of accomplishment. Maybe they've never had the sense of accomplishment before in their entire lives. And that does wonders for an individual's personal empowerment and belief that, hey, I'm a confident person, I'm a responsible person. Look what I've accomplished, look what I've done. I'm worthwhile, I'm productive. I don't have to live in fear anymore. I don't have to live being sick. I can live with an addiction that has crippled me, that I am a healthy person, I'm a worthwhile person, and I can be a productive member of society.
Mainly the groups that I go to or that we go to in here are based on changing the way you think, changing the way you react to certain situations, changing how you feel, and things of that nature.
This program is much more than just a recovery program. This program will give a person, if you just let it, if you absorb this program and you're willing to learn and you're willing to open your mind and you're willing to open your heart and you're willing to work through those things and see this program for what it really is. This program offers you a way of living. This program offers you life skills.
When I first got here, I didn't even know how to spell, and now I can spell. You know, really learn manners and stuff from it too. And it ain't just all about drugs, it's about growing up.
This program teaches you to want to do things yourself. It guides you. So it don't just tell you gotta do this and it's gonna get done or somebody gonna do it for you. You gotta want to do it yourself. And it will help you along the way.
Overall, people who are in the program tend not to come back to jail. Overall, the people who come to the program tend to have a higher rate of staying clean than those who don't attend.
Pam, let's go back a little bit and talk about what we haven't touched on is that we really have, as an alternative in terms of the treatment that is provided, medication-assisted therapies. Are we making full use of those therapies within the criminal justice system?
No, not yet. What we're seeing is incredible advances with regard to medication-assisted treatment and their effectiveness with populations, particularly opiate-addicted individuals. And
alcohol.
And alcohol, yes, you are right. And what we see in the criminal justice system is a little hesitance and a little resistance to use medications, misunderstanding addiction and not realizing that addiction is a brain disease. And as a brain disease, one of the very effective treatments we have available to deal with it is are the variety of medications that are out there now. They're a little more expensive, and so people are hesitant to use them, but their outcomes are excellent. And so, for example, in Illinois, we are very proud of a reentry program we have called Sheridan, and one of the things that we are trying to work into that program is the use of medication-assisted treatment for people who relapse on opiate-based drugs. And we've found a few judges who are willing to talk about the incorporation of medication as well, but it's not as fully integrated or even understood as it should be.
What role do the wardens play in really attempting to increase the coordination and increase the level of treatment programs that are provided within the prison system?
Well, as I said earlier, we really have to deal with whoever's sent to us. If we were to say anything, we'd like to tell the public what the expense is. Since the 1980s, there's been a prison explosion. Until now, 1 out of every 30 to 31 people in America is involved in the criminal justice system. That's a crime in itself. No one incarcerates more people in the world than the United States does. Why? Because everyone that uses drugs in America is caught, is considered a criminal. By criminalization of all drug abuse, we've created a brand new prison population. And in America, what is our response to criminal activity? We send people to prison. It's not worked. In several states, matter of fact, almost all states, the number of people incarcerated keeps exploding. Until now, we have millions of people, 6 million people incarcerated. It's just an awful scenario.
But do you negotiate at all with the state systems and say, you know, I've got X amount of inmates, X number have an addiction problem, and I can only treat X at this point because I do not have capacity to do more. Is there a connected train of thought between the need of those inmates and the cost savings to the folks that are administering the systems?
What we've learned is actually people don't always choose drug treatment. When they're in correctional facilities, if it's given to them, there is an advantage. And if we connect with the community, they'll continue and be more successful. Some people say, well, you can't force treatment, but by making it available and holding incentives with people, it in fact does work. We've proven that. The dilemma for us, as we all talked about, is not enough community corrections. It's too easy for Americans simply to say you violated a law and send them to prison. That is the easy answer. It allows our district attorneys and judges to say, look at our conviction rates. A person committed a crime, we sent them to prison. No one wants to be easy on crime. Instead of sending them to prison, we should say, what do we really want to accomplish here? Do we just want to punish people? And that's how we punish them, by sending them to prison. Or in fact, we expect a better result. A better result is taking the higher road and putting a person in treatment.
Well, I think our drug courts are increasingly more accepted throughout the country, and I think that they've done quite a bit, right, Pam, in terms of making sure that individuals get an alternative to incarceration.
Absolutely. I think I heard last week that there are about 120,000 people being served in drug courts across the country, and that's a big number. But the number of folks going through the criminal justice system is 10 times that, probably?
14 million arrests a year.
Okay, so more than that, more than 10 times that. And what really needs to happen is that those interventions, whether they're drug courts or task programs or jail diversion or anything else, are brought to sufficient scale to have the kind of impact that we can then see in communities. Because while individuals are helped, if they're returned to the same communities, the risk to them for relapse and reoffending is very